Chapter 12. Meanwhile, back on Earth, an executive assistant at Citibank entered the credit manager's office with a stack of papers in her hand. "Mr. Robertson, here are the delinquent accounts." Felicity LeBlanc said this as she handed Emmett the credit card statements. "How long have they been overdue?" Emmett asked. 3 months, sir." Emmett looked at the statements and gasped. "Felicity, this cannot go on. Have you sent them a notice that if they do not start at least paying off the minimum amount, that we will cancel their cards?" "Yes, that was done, but still no reply." "That's odd. They seem to have stopped adding to this account 3 months ago. Could it be that these 2 men have died in the last 3 months, and that is why they haven't paid up? Well, we'll just go after their estates." "Mr. Robertson, the first statement went out 3 months ago, and it came back address unknown." "What? Do you mean they skipped town? Well, they will not get away with this. Look at how much they charged. This Mr. Jasper White spent a fortune on a ring at the jewelry store, at various liquor stores, and at a car dealer's. We will hunt him down and at least get our money back from what was purchased at those places. A car can be repossessed. Surely we can track him down using that item. We have tried all that already. The detectives came up blank. This Alex King cannot be traced either? Not a trace. This world isn't big enough to hide in for very long. We have the best detectives." "I'm sorry, sir, but they have all come back with the same story. They say it is like these men have just vanished from off the planet." "Well, someone has got to pay for these charges. We just cannot write off the kind of money these 2 have charged in just 1 month. Take these liquor purchases. No one could have drank all that liquor in 1 month. Here is the report of the detectives. Maybe you can make it out." Emmett took the report and found that the detectives had done a thorough job of trying to hunt up Jasper White and Alex King. However, their conclusion was that they had vanished from off the planet seemed far-fetched. Emmett looked at the accounts again in the computer and found something very interesting. Attached to the place where the statements were to be mailed, there was the statement: "The person whose name that is attached to this bill is not to be held accountable for payment due. Mr. I.M. Bilmy is from whom you are to exact payment." "Felicity, did you not see this statement before?" "No, sir, never." "Well, it's no wonder we can't get a hold of Jasper White and Alex King. Get me the address for Mr. I.M. Bilmy. He is the one from whom we will get our money." Felicity did her best to find the address for I.M. Bilmy, but with heavy heart she could not find it. "What? How stupid can you be? That address has got to be in here somewhere. The accounts would not have been set up without that address. Who authorized these accounts anyway?" "Well, that's the trouble too. That information seems to be missing too." "Well, it certainly wasn't me," Emmett stormed. A few days later, Felicity came in and said, "Mr. Robertson, I've been receiving calls from bankers all over the country asking me if we have had the same trouble with delinquent accounts as they have been having." "And when you told them we have, what did they say?" "They said they are looking for the same Mr. I.M. Bilmy, since all the people whose names that were on the credit cards have disappeared." "How many people are we talking about that are missing?" "As far as I can tell, it runs in the thousands." "The thousands? This will bankrupt the country. We've got to find this Mr. I.M. Bilmy. He must be either unfathomably rich, or this is the greatest scam that ever was concocted." Donovan Black followed Chad back to Crystal and Jasper's apartment. He was told by Chad to stay there and not go anywhere. Chad told him that there was a bookcase in the living room and that he could read to keep himself busy. Donovan had done just that and found that the books were put out by a place called Pilgrimage. He was shocked at how little he knew of the Bible and its message and how Pilgrimage had put it all in perspective. If he had only come across this years ago, he too might have gone on that city ship with the rest. However, there was still hope for him not to miss out on everything when Jesus returns as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. One day, as Donovan was reading, "The hour cometh," a knock at the door sounded. He didn't know whether he should answer it or not, for he knew by now that Chad did not need a key to enter the apartment. He could come and go as he pleased. The knock was more insistent, and Donovan had not seen anyone for what seemed like an eternity, so he decided to answer it. "Yes?" Donovan asked. "My name is Emmett Robertson. I'm an employee at a bank that holds Jasper White's credit card. Would you be Jasper White?" "No, I'm not. Jasper does not live here anymore." "Could you tell me where he does live?" Donovan did not know how to answer this question. How could he tell this man that he saw Jasper go up in the biggest spaceship he had ever seen? He decided to play it safe by saying, "No, I do not know where he lives now." "Were you a friend of his?" "Well, not exactly. Jasper put me out of business." "Oh, then you were competitors." "In a matter of speaking. You see, Jasper did not like the line of work I was in, so he found a way to put me out of business. I'm not the only one he did that to." "How did you come to be living in his apartment then?" "Well, Jasper helped me out. It's a long story, and I'm sure you are not interested in all the details." "I didn't mean to pry. What I am interested in is, did Jasper ever mention to you a guy by the name of I Am Bilmy?" "No, I only knew Jasper for about a month. I went to his wedding, though. It was very strange at the time, but I'm beginning to understand it better now that I have been reading all his books that he left behind." "He didn't take his books?" Emmett asked. "Then maybe he is coming back sometime to get them." "Oh, I know he is coming back." "You do? Then why did you not tell me that in the first place? When do you expect him?" "Well, I'm just new at this, but from what I've read so far, I expect him in about 8 months' time." 8 months' time? Oh, that is terrible. How can we last that long? Emmett said this more to himself than to Donovan. "Thank you for the information. Could you give me a call when Jasper arrives back?" "Wait a minute. I didn't mean to give you the impression that Jasper will come back to this apartment. All I do know for sure is he will come back to Earth in 8 months' time." Donovan knew when he said it that he shouldn't have let it slip out, but now that he might as well tell all. "I know by the look on your face that you think that I am crazy, but Jasper really did leave this Earth. I saw the city ship he and his friends left on. It was huge and so beautiful." "City ship?" "I don't know what else to call it. It was as huge as a city." "When did you see it leave?" "About 3 months ago." 3 months ago, I would have taken you as a crazy person for telling me this story. But I've had the best detectives on Earth in search of Jasper White and Alex King, and they all reported back to me that it was like they vanished from the Earth. Well, they did. Do you know where they were going?" From what I've read, they are going to a place where the marriage supper of the Lamb is to take place. Then after the people of the earth that got left behind go through the day of God's wrath, or the year of recompenses, then they will come back with the Lord Jesus and establish his kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. I don't care about all that. All I care about is getting Jasper White to tell me who I Am Bilmy is so I can get my money back. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know who that person is. In all my readings, I have never come across an I Am Bilmy, Donovan apologized. But don't you understand? If I can't find this I Am Bilmy, the whole economy will crash. It cannot take such a loss. Emmett Robertson slumped into the nearest chair. Well, I don't know much about how a bank runs, but from what I have been reading, that is what is supposed to happen to this system. It is contrary to God's law, and God is now exacting payment due. Jesus, God's Son, is coming back and will establish a righteous form of economic system. Oh, Jesus is just a myth. Don't be fooled by that garbage, Emmett snapped. I used to believe that way too, but since I met Jasper and his friend Chad, I wish I had believed sooner. Things are going to get worse until God's people, the Anglo-Saxon, Celtic, and kindred peoples, humble themselves and are willing to do what their forefathers at Mount Sinai made an oath to do. I'm not interested in all that garbage. Just be sure to contact me if you find out who this I Am Bilmy person is, okay? But I do know who he is, Donovan exclaimed. Well, don't beat around the bush. Tell me. It's the Lord Jesus. He is the great I Am, and he is telling you to bill him. Oh, don't be so foolish. How can I bill someone who doesn't exist and is only a legend? You can ask him that when he returns. Let me guess, you expect him back in 8 months' time, like your friend Jasper. That's right. You know what I think you are? Just another nutcase, Emmett exclaimed as he stomped away.